We're rolling. Start shaking. And action.
Hey guys, Vin here. The BHP universe is expanding tremendously, and we just released our first ever sequel. Continuing with the Peepscope trilogy story of the Milkman, we want to take you through how we made our short film, Walk the Plank. I've always wanted to create a horror short film revolving around pirates or like a pirate ship, but the idea never really clicked, and it was something I tossed around for a while. But after thinking of the Milkman idea and creating all the comic book strips, I was able to put that down as a baseline, but it wasn't until recently that we really started getting heavily into writing it. The legendary comic creator of the Milkman, Coulter Rail, came back for this round, and he made some really awesome comic book strips. Coulter and I went back and forth for a couple of months actually, just making different versions of the script, going back and forth, and I believe it took us around 3 to 4 months of just on and off sending stuff to each other until we really found something that clicked.
Making the transition from Milkman to Plank was hefty. Milkman was the 1930s and the pirate era of comics was the 1950s. A drastic change in detail. Also, full disclosure, when's the last time I drew a clipper ship or used a vanishing horizon point for a mast rigging? Yup, that's a never. We also co-wrote on this one, hashing out how to bring all the Peepscope stories together. Watching the long-distance collaboration come together is always amazing to see. And I can say, we are thrilled to reveal the final chapter, the final tape, the final puzzle piece. Stay tuned.
The whole second half of the film where the house turns into a ship seemed like a really fun challenge, and all the aspects creating it between lighting, set designing, and just shooting it overall was really challenging, but really fun and rewarding. Coulter took the liberty of designing the whole comic book strip as well as writing it, and I really love the story he came up with. When creating this sequel, we really wanted to just up everything that was in the Milkman and have it feel very much like the Milkman, but just a amped up version, showing all the skills that we've learned over this past year, and especially the set building aspect.
Hey guys, it's Preston, your favorite gaffer, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the lighting in Walk the Plank. For this film, I really wanted the light to appear like it was coming from the window on the set. So for that, I put the 60D Amaran light that we have on a C-stand, put it over the wall, since we don't have a roof on the set, and just right where the window is going to be, just blasting down on everything, kind of adding one big key light to the whole set. And then from there, I just had a GVM kind of inside to add in any fill where we might need it.
Filmmaking when you're on a set that you're building versus when you're in a house or an apartment is completely different, very much light and day. Things definitely tend to go wrong less when you're on a set because things are more tailored to the film specifically. And for this example, we custom built a window knowing that that would be in the shots. For where it's raining outside the window, this was a mix of making it believable with sound, but also practically putting rain on the window. For the windows itself, we didn't have glass, but we had the panes that you have from like a 24 by 36 poster. And so we taped those up there, and that still looked like a window, but it wasn't heavy and it wasn't destructive or anything. And so we took a spray bottle, and that's how we got the rain on there. And we also had a bucket of water that we were throwing at him in his face when he was looking out the window. And that was to just simulate what the waves would be doing. Since the house is now supposed to be in the middle of the ocean, the water would be, lifting up at his face, and that's what we wanted to simulate here.
It was really funny seeing JD get so wet. We absolutely pelted him with water. But he took it. He was a good sport.
Hello, my name's Terry Regal, and I've been working with Buried Hatchet Productions for about 4 months now. So I help in two main areas. One is the physical set design. So I help build the different set pieces and things that might be needed that are physical. And I also do a little bit of virtual set.
For most of the shots for the second half of the film, where everything's really action-packed, we had built this kind of makeshift ship mechanism, and that's what JD, our actor, stood on most of the time. The base of the mechanism was a very sturdy flat, like similar to a set wall, but it had holes in it that could attach to these poles, and each pole was to swivel up and down and left and right for the opposite ones. And so when two people would operate it, it would give the actor this illusion of moving, which they actually were moving. And this was very good to give them that element of surprise when they were acting, and we weren't just saying, okay, pretend like you're moving right now. It was very realistic and authentic, and he was really just tripping over himself, and it definitely seemed very authentic rather than just saying, oh, pretend you're shaking right now.
Start moving them, guys. And action.
Along with the boat mechanism, I was also shaking the camera, and we also had all the walls shaking, which is why being on the set is so good, because it's just something you can't do in a normal room. If you look closely in the background of the shots, you'll see the picture frames moving, and it's a really tiny detail, but when you see it and you see the light reflecting off it, you can actually see that the walls are moving. And we did this by just having different crew members behind there shaking the walls during each take.
You'll notice that throughout the film there are more and more ocean elements added as time goes on. You know, it starts with that drip of water when he's sleeping, and eventually he's in a big storm where that room is just on the ocean. And to help sell that illusion, we had a GVM outside the window on the lightning setting.
We reused the set walls from last time, and we painted them green this time, and added a few more walls, so now we had 10 for this one, and it worked really well. Our set designer, Janine Dormani, did a great job decorating the set, and I gave her a lot of free range to just decorate it however she wanted, and she did a really nice job putting little Easter eggs here and there, and just really nice decoration to make it feel like a real room.
So believe it or not, in this film we actually had a whole scene that we completely scrapped, which was actually the opening scene of the entire film. So how it was supposed to start was we had the main character, Kyle Claxton, walking out in the rain to get his mail, and then in the water he sees the peep scope just appear. It's there, boom, and he takes it inside and looks at it. That didn't work at all. It was really rough filming in the rain, and just none of the footage really worked. We completely messed up the peep scope box, but anyway, it was still fun to do it. Maybe you'll see some of that footage now.
There's a couple of different VFX shots, the main one being when he's looking outside the window. To achieve this, we shot the window plate over a green screen, and the water scene was actually made in Unreal Engine by Terry Regal, who not only does set building but also does some visual effects. We were able to tweak how much rain or wind or waves were going on, and we really found a nice midpoint for what worked for this.
You can see the little yellow flickering there. That's the rain, and you can see it's not deep enough. And we switched to this. So now you're looking at the camera that's sitting on the house. The window, we did a green screen, and we replaced it with this footage, and it turned out pretty well.
Similar to that shot was the pirate coming out of the water shot. We shot over green screen and keyed that out, and then comped in the background, which was a slightly closer angle of the ocean.
It was really fun working with JD. I've actually worked with him on a previous project before, and he had seen our stuff and he said he wanted to be a part of it, so I'm glad I was able to get him in on this film. He absolutely killed it, did a fantastic job, love the guy, fantastic actor. And I can't wait for him to kind of join us on more things. The other actor, George, I worked with him as well, and I'm once again glad that I was able to bring him onto set. He was previously on Wax as one of the Wax figures, and it was a smaller part, so we wanted to bring him back. We love him so much that we had him come back as the villain in this one. I'm thinking we'll probably bring him back again for more. I know he loves working with us. It's fun to work with him, and you can tell that he's really passionate about what he does. So I'm looking forward to working with George again.
Frank did the score as per usual, and it turned out really awesome. I gave him the direction to do something similar to Batman Under the Red Hood, and I think he definitely followed that.
So that's me, Terry Regal, and a little bit about me and what I do with Buried Hatchet Productions and some of the work I've done, and hope you enjoyed this little video. Thanks.
Anyways, guys, that's mostly it. I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of everything. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed the film.
We had so much fun making this short, and it's fun to finally visit back the Milkman and now have a sequel. I don't know when we'll get to the final part to end the trilogy, but hopefully within the next year. We do have a lot more projects coming, and we will continue with monthly shorts. And stay tuned for December. We have a new short coming, as well as January, February, and all the months coming. But we have some really cool stuff coming up. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.